Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I want to talk to you about a couple of domestic dispute videos that deal with men and women fighting. Don't know what the reasons for these things were, but these guys look stupid when they were caught. Well, one of them was caught, the other one died. Both of these occurred in Washington State. Shout out Washington. And I'm going to play them both, and we'll discuss them both in the commentary. But for now, take a look at this, man. It's some people out here that can't get out of their own way mentally. Look.
Well, they are, and the scene is still active here 12 hours after all of this began early this morning. The police chief says those officers saved lives with their quick action today, and I want to stress these were unrelated domestic violence calls that involved men shooting at responding officers. Police say in this case, the man previously served time in prison for a double homicide, and when officers got here this morning, they say he came out firing at them. Police surrounded this apartment complex after neighbors reported hearing fighting. When officers got here, a woman ran to them saying she'd been shot.
Officers began to give her aid, at which time the suspect came out of the residence and fired upon the officer. One officer returned fire while the other two officers continued to give aid.
Suspect is shooting. He's shooting 3252 East Madison Street.
The man retreated as neighbors hid in their homes.
At that point, I just kind of rolled out of bed and got on the floor and sort of waited. Eventually, they came around to my window with a ladder, got me down there.
While SWAT was responding here, across town, another urgent call for help of a man seen choking a woman at Pritchard Island Beach Park. Officers got here and also took gunfire.
Shot fired. 59. I don't know if we've ever hit. I'm on the bridge.
The suspect jumped in the water of Lake Washington, and officers coaxed him out and arrested him.
I think he was in the water for such a long time, and it is cold out there.
Back at the still active Madison Park scene, a SWAT team moved in, finding the suspect dead in a bedroom. Investigators learned he had a violent criminal history.
He was arrested and convicted for a double homicide in the late 90s. He served his time and got out, we believe, around 2017 and has been back in Seattle since that time.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says these domestic violence calls put the victims and officers' lives in danger.
And in both cases, officers showed up and saved two lives. One life was saved here today with the female that was transported with the gunshot wound, and the other life of a victim who was being choked by her partner. I do believe that the officers saved two lives today.
One big question here still for investigators is whether the suspect in this Madison Park shooting shot himself after that confrontation with officers, or whether the officer who returned fire at him actually landed one of those shots and killed him. That is going to be sorted out by a team that handles officer-involved shootings. We don't know the man's identity yet, and we'll get that from the medical examiner's office likely sometime next week. As for the victim, we're told she's 48. She's at Harborview Medical Center in critical condition. And the victim from the second domestic violence incident where shots were fired at police, we're told that woman is going to be okay. Reporting live from the Madison Park neighborhood of Seattle, Jeremy Harris, Como News.
All right, guys, you've seen it. 2 cases in Washington State of domestic abuse. And one guy dead. The other one need to be gone, too, in my opinion. Now, let's go with this first story they showed, People called complaining about people fighting in the house. This dude blasts his chick in the back. She runs out there to police. He comes out and gets into a shootout and a standoff with the police where he dies in the house. Was convicted for a double murder, double homicide back in the day. I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. This is just me. From a male standpoint, a lot of times, and I'm just talking. I can meet a chick, and in a little bit of time, this is why you need to go slow with people. A little bit of time, I can tell if she right for me or not. You know what I'm saying? Reason why people tell you to take your time when you meet people, because remember, people want to put on a good impression. A lot of people wear masks when they first see you because they want you to see them a certain way. But over time, they can't wear that mask for you can only wear it for so long because it gets heavy, and you have to show people who you really are. And the only way you really see if somebody's wearing a mask or not is how they deal with certain situations that come up. That's why it pays to take your time with people. You might like them to death and want to be with them real bad, but a lot of times what glitters is not gold. This guy already had a killer nature in the first story. He was willing to go back to prison, i.e. shooting at the cops and busting your ass. And he was willing to kill you and obviously himself. What does that show you? He didn't care about himself. When they get mad, they go all the way to the left. Only thing that matters is they're upset. So I'm gonna tell you something, men are problem solvers, even the dumbass ones. And they'll solve problems in various ways, including the process of elimination, even if it includes their self. This guy would rather die than go to jail, but he did something that brought the police to the house. I ain't never been in a position where a woman made me so angry that I couldn't just walk away from the situation, or been put in a position where I just walk out the house to avoid arguing or getting into a situation. It's crazy out here now. Let's go to the second story. This motherfucker choking a girl in a public park. Somebody saw him and called the police. Police get on the scene. He pulls a gun out, bangs out with the cops, then runs and jumps in the lake. The water's cold, so he can't stand there for long. So they're standing there looking at him, telling him to come back. He's sitting there, and then I guess the elements brought his dumb ass ashore. See him pulling his skinny ass up there looking stupid as hell? Man, it's like no limit in the childlike mannerisms in men nowadays. And then trust me, your partner, whoever you're with, be it a man or a woman, can drive you to the point where you feel like you want to put your hands on them. Me, when I get to that point, I pull out. I leave. Because I'm not going to be, or I end the relationship, I'm not going to be caught up on a news story like the ones I do, where they put your face all over the news, and now you're broadcast nationwide as an abuser, be a man or a woman. It's a bad look. But some people nowadays, man, they don't think about that. You know, there's a lot of people out here that act and are violent out of their own selfishness, but they never take, with their own selfishness, time to reflect on self, to change self to where they won't be in these positions in the first place. That's why I tell you, how can you feel sorry for people that do dumb shit? Especially repeatedly. This ain't the first time either of these dudes put their hands on a woman. You can already tell with the confidence. This motherfucker choked somebody in a park, a public park. You jogging, enjoying your day, and you look over there, and he's choking the life out of somebody in a park where kids could see him. And then what they do after getting caught is a true reflection of what they are, kids. I'll run away and jump in the lake. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. I'm done with this.